Alrighty, good morning, my friends. It is Tuesday, April 23rd, 2024. Let's go ahead and jump on back. We'll take a look at what happened here yesterday. In my opinion, some pretty awesome stuff, so we'll pop on back and take a look. So yesterday, the main thing that we took away from our news report and our review is that we did have some clues from the low of the week before, which was, I believe, Friday. And again, the low of Friday was our roadmap level to the nearly to the tick there. We had a lot of good bullish clues starting to show up. And the overarching idea was we were in a very heavy bearish market, but there were some clues for the bulls. So whatever you want to interpret from that, that's kind of how we set up the morning. And what happened here is, as you can see in the pre-market, I was warning everybody, I even highlighted it here, that we were coming into the open and we were having trouble getting through our first expected area of resistance, which was our roadmap level at 34. So it did hold, and then what do you know? The market opens and we get the pullback from there, only to bounce right off of our scaffolding once again, just like it did in the pre-market to the tick there. And then once again, bulls had trouble off that same roadmap level. So we got a beautiful double top there, beautiful bearish divergence right off our roadmap level. And then we got this deeper pullback where once again, we kind of started a stair step and we held the first, got down below, and notice they tried to hold. In fact, out of the open here, they tried to hold below the hopeful there and bounce back and forth, only to come down and bounce off the scaffolding. But as we came down, got below the next level, we stair-stepped right off of that and basically held the two roadmap levels there nearly to the tick. And then the bears tried to pull price back down below 50% of the previous day, and you can see they held and they held and they held. But then this began to pop out. So price started to come back out. We didn't necessarily parry right off 50% of the previous day perfectly there, but you can see it was an attempt by the bears to pull price, and then all of a sudden the bulls pop back in and we get this nice pop towards the going into the middle of the day there. And then we just began, and this is what I love about the Holy Orange power level. This is why it's on our screen every day. It becomes a very important rotational spot, and I'm not just pointing this out because it just coincidentally worked out this morning. We see this type of price action all the time. So what happened here? Again, we kind of got below the hopeful out of the open there, kind of nicely held for some little scalps if you wanted. But mainly what I'm saying here is we got below it, we held it, came down, and then when price came back and got back above it, they held it that first time, but more importantly, we got away, came back, and to the tick, once again, bam, we hit it, and that began the biggest push of the day. And again, I'm not bringing this up because it just coincidentally happened today. We see this happen over and over again where the hopeful ends up becoming this kind of perfect entry spot for a huge rotation. Now again, it doesn't work every time it's tested. You can even see here, out of the open, yeah, we came below it, we kind of held, we got above it, we just chugged through it, then we chugged kind of back below it, although we did bounce to the tick there, and then fail, and then that was pretty obvious as to what was going to happen there. But yeah, as you can see, beautiful tag with a push to the downside, then price gets back above, tags it to the tick for this push to the upside, and then it was just kind of a rip your face off rally. And here is another beautiful example of when the market is moving very quickly, your fast moving average becomes your best friend. And I mean quite literally every test of the fast moving average here was a to the tick hold all the way up. I mean, yeah, it broke by 2 or 3 ticks there and then just continued going until, interestingly enough, oh look, we peter out right at our next roadmap level. So, really aggressive rip. Holding the FMA. So this is why I say in a strong market, whether it's a big sell-off or a big rally to the upside, you do have really good opportunities if you want to get aggressive off of that level. Just understand, and I was telling this to one of one of the guys who signed up last week, that this isn't necessarily the best level because it's so aggressive. But if you want to be aggressive and you notice the market is ripping, this can become a pretty reliable level. So then they come all the way up, and like I said, they kind of petered out right around the 69 roadmap level, and then came up, and then I believe the high of the day, they failed a point in front of the next roadmap level. Now, I'm not claiming that they really came in and tagged it in this instance, but it came pretty damn close there, maybe a point and a half away. And then we began the stair step back down. And as you can see, big sell-off, or at least on a short time frame, a little micro sell-off. And then bam, stops right at our roadmap level. Then can't get through the 200, gets below, and then we hold the roadmap level to the tick, or within a tick, and continue to rally lower. So just another example of some beautiful holds. And then the end of the day, and this seems to be kind of par for the course, the end of the day, the market just kind of peters out and goes sideways, right? And even despite that, holds the back end of the 200 all through the chop, holds the back end of this roadmap level, holds the top end of the roadmap level, and then closes out. So still some pretty good stuff at the end of the day. You could still be noticing that we are failing, right? We're starting to get our crossover. We're starting to fall below some of our key roadmap levels, including the high of the day. And that was what we wanted to see for our bullish bias yesterday. We wanted to see the bulls hold above the previous daily high. And then towards the end of the day, you see this big failure and you see price falling back below the high of the previous day there. And you get a double top off of it and it starts to fail. Well, you had two beautiful short opportunities off the back end of the 200 at the end of the day there. And you probably could have grabbed another 10 points on the first test, maybe a little more than that. And then at the end of the day, a little 5-point scalp, 6-7 point scalp, right? So that concludes the review from yesterday. Like I said, a lot of beautiful, low risk trade opportunities. So let's go ahead and go into this morning and take a look at what's happened here. And so far, it's just been kind of a merry step higher. Once again, holding generally around 50% of the previous day. Then they get up and they hold the previous daily close with a double bottom. Then they hold, and I don't think the Hopel was on the chart at that time. So we didn't hold on the first, but on the second test there, you can see just as the Hopel prints, we're bouncing right and it holds off the 200 there. So there's your step from the Hopel, right? So we stepped from 50% of the previous day, then from the previous daily close, then from the Hopel, all within a couple ticks of each other. And now here we are attempting to break out. So pretty cool stuff in the overnight session as well. And then we had the beautiful tag of the VWAP just 20 minutes ago or so. So let's go ahead and jump up to the higher time frames.